like ever actually watched one because I really didn't care that much, but I had to watch this one and I'm like, what the hell are we doing? We're like children just fucking running in a circle.
I know they were.
But again, and so just so everybody knows, the pundits, the debate folks, so everybody that I've been watching over the last 2 weeks that talks about how to do a debate, they're basically saying you don't have to answer the question that's being asked. And so that's what we're seeing here. Both of them are going back and trying to get their point across.
2 2-year-olds in a fucking sandbox.
It is. Well, and they're throwing sand at each other.
This is, but you know.
Keith poked me.
I know. I'm not touching you.
Your son's touching you, but I'm not touching you. Like, what the hell are you doing?
All right, we're live.
So, cue the music.
All right, let's get this thing off. Welcome, John and Wendy.
Cue the music.
You go home and cry to your granny. Dolph, tie up the brat. Lisa, hold the book. Vincent, get the truck. And Keith, darn it, change your name, please. That's not scary, and I'm embarrassed to say it. Boris, try that. Keith, you know? Oh, watch out for Keith.
I swear, watch out one of these days I'm going to actually watch that video.
Looks like John's going to be so excited.
You know, the only thing that's missing is that we're not there.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, it's hot. You really don't want to be here. It's gross right now.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Oh, wait.
Oh, what are you doing?
Well, I had to turn on Rumble, too.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
You know he's a lot of work, right?
Oh, my God.
Oh. Hot tour.
I'll give you a hot tour.
It's going to be a good night.
We've been drinking.
You just agreed to that.
I'm not touching you.
I'm not touching you. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Coffee Table Chronicles. Welcome back, John and Wendy. Thank you.
Hi, everyone.
We have not done this in a while, so we forgot that there's like an actual process to this.
There is.
I know, right?
You know what? We miss you guys.
Oh,
we miss you guys. We miss you guys.
Yeah, we have. Our livers have really come back and actually flourished since we left.
Really, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Granted, Wendy says about an hour ago, she goes, all right, so, and wait, do we have the sound effect board on the counter? No, we don't.
We don't.
Okay. So, you know, but Wendy goes, all right, we got to take a drink every time we hear. There was a couple times they were like, all right, that's close enough.
Well, we got to let people know what for what reason. We were watching the debates.
Bill hears us.
Yes,
he does. She thinks you're at the door.
And so every time that Biden makes a we had to take a drink.
That's pretty good, Wendy.
So I
Although this debate, it's more like every time Biden makes the face. Then
you don't know if he's shitting his pants or what, right?
Well, that's what Lindsay said. Did they don't take a break? I said, yeah. Yeah.
He's doing it right now. He's doing it right now.
Your face. Take a drink.
Oh my God. We both look over and he's doing it.
That's awesome.
None of them. We are so far down the freaking rabbit hole.
Wendy goes, do they normally take a break? I said, yeah, but he's got to go change his diaper.
That's convenient.
Oh my God, that's what the commercial breaks are for.
I didn't know that you took commercial breaks normally. I just wanted to make sure.
Wipe him off, give him a B12 shot, good to go.
Right, Joey? Was one of the commercials a Depends commercial by chance? Just curious.
Oh, I didn't see. I should have looked.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
That would be.
that would be
Granted,
so
we're on the wrong network
President.
because we're on Newsmax. Yeah, we're on Newsmax. We're not going to see that.
Oh.
You don't see the Depends presidential commercial.
All right, we didn't get the show notes. We don't know how this goes.
Well, guess what? There are no show notes tonight. We wanted to.
we're just winging it.
We're just winging it.
Awesome.
Don't we do that every time?
We wanted to
Oh,
take us back to the beginning. Do you realize it's been almost 3 years?
That we've been doing this?
Yes.
Wow.
Isn't that
Really?
crazy?
Wow, really?
Just over 4 years, 5 years that we've known John and Wendy.
Yeah.
Because you didn't want to be friends with John.
I didn't say I didn't want to be friends with John. I said I didn't want to hang out with people I work
I
with.
don't want to be friends with them. And I said, too bad I like Wendy.
And all of a sudden, I got this Facebook friend request. I'm like, fuck that. And I was like, no, he works for me. I'm
Right.
not doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So
then you guys
how was
went
New York?
Me and Wendy met, and now you guys are stuck with us.
I know, right?
You're stuck with us.
And pretty soon we'll have a house so you can come and visit.
Yay!
That's
I'm so
exciting.
excited. Do you
That's
have
exciting.
like a flat land now?
We have footers and we have partial of the. So the property is not entirely flat. There is nothing that is flat in North Carolina for more than 10 feet. So it falls off quite a bit. Once you take the trees off, you can start seeing, okay, this is not as flat as we thought it was. But it is what it is. And so we're putting up the parts that raise the slab because it's a slab. So we're
Right.
but the one thing that's probably the best part is, so I was on an airplane this morning. So Wendy was out meeting with the builders and several of the trades. And what was the one thing that they said about being cool?
About being what?
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, like this was going to be
Oh, the house was going to be cool.
there. So some of the contractors are saying this is going to be one of the coolest houses.
That's cool.
That's cool.
So
Right? It's
We're
cool.
excited.
So we just want to get out of this little tiny apartment.
It'll come soon enough.
So
I know.
my dream is to have a Keith studio.
You'll have it.
Wait,
someday.
we didn't discuss this.
Your dream is to have your garage. Because, oh my God.
True, right? There you go. You can put it in the garage.
It's gonna be in my office.
Don't fill up the garage with shit
Okay.
that's not car stuff. What are you doing? It's not what the garage is for.
No. No, the garage is gonna have the Mustang. The garage is gonna have the motorcycle, and it's gonna have the camper. So the garage will be full.
There you go.
Nice.
That's what a garage is for.
And you know, John's
So,
thinking in the back of his mind.
I
right
was.
now, I got to pull out the architectural details and add that studio on. That's what he's saying.
He's like,
There we
"Oh,
go. There we go. There we go.
a third story and just put the studio up there.
Yeah.
It's not totally done right. It's just the footer.
So-
The footer's still the same.
Yeah. We can build up.
Mhm.
So I was in Dallas this week, and always fun to go down to Dallas.
Yep.
Lots of warm. It was definitely warm, and just want to say, love my Texas time in Texas. It's always fun to go up there or down there and check it out. It's starting to sound like Biden all of a sudden. I got my,
Let's go, Brandon.
let's go Brandon t-shirt. And
Nice.
I know I
So-
should have got mine. I was too busy watching it being like, oh.
I think
I got CTC on.
Nice.
Wendy's got her CTC shirt on.
I'm the only one that
I was looking for mine and I came across this and I was like, I haven't worn this in quite a while, and it makes sense during debate night.
Joey. Yeah.
Joey says it's hot. Fucking hot.
Where in Texas is Joey at?
I think you're.
That's a good question.
Aren't you south of Dallas, Joey?
Down
could
by
do it.
Austin?
I know they're not in
No,
like the
no,
city.
no,
I
no.
know they're on the outskirts. I just don't know where.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we I jumped in the rental car and DFW. Okay, so I was just in that backyard. I was in Irvine, so yeah, I was right behind the airport.
Oh, okay.
Good job, Christine.
But Christine's got her CTC
Hi,
shirt
Christine.
on. So
North Texas.
very cool though. And then
You guys both were on
Boris
plane
was
today.
in. Boris was in New York, New Jersey.
Joyzy.
Yep. There was.
But at least he didn't get his
And
coworker
Philly.
stolen. She came home safe.
He what?
He did not get his
Oh,
coworker
didn't-
stolen. She came home safe.
Thank
So
God.
that's good. Don't let her get stolen.
So I did something very cool in New York. I went to the new Freedom Tower, which was very cool. Well, it's not new. It's been there for a long time. I just haven't had a chance to go see it, but
At least you went because I won't go.
now I did, and it was very cool. So I got a picture of it.
No.
Why won't you go?
It's fucking
Why?
tall.
It's tall.
It's what?
It's fucking tall.
So
Good for you. There's
what
nothing
does that have to do with
up there to see. Not a thing.
what? Are you afraid of heights?
Nope, but I'm not gonna die in a big fucking building. Nope. Mm. Nope.
So
You're afraid that lightning might strike twice?
Well, there was a lot of people in those twin towers that thought, gee, nothing's ever gonna happen to me up here. No.
I got to tell you that the view from up there was spectacular. Here's a picture.
Oh yeah. So that's
Oh, that is cool.
you don't have the picture of the one with the park on the top of the roof.
No, I got a bunch of pictures. I just
Okay.
didn't put them all up there.
So
but-
he's talking to me, right? So he's up here and he's showing, like, we're FaceTiming and he's showing me that. And I tell him, that building to your right, is that a fucking park on top of the building? And he zooms in and he was like, yup, that's a park. And I'm like, you're fucking crazy. And then
Well, in Chicago, they would put pools up on the top,
oh yeah,
the top deck.
Yep.
okay. And
Yeah, I
then
always thought it was weird that. Go ahead.
I was waiting.
We have a delay. There's a delay, I think, when we talk and you guys actually hear what we say. So there is a little bit of a delay.
So in Chicago is a prime example. So I always thought it was interesting that they would have tennis courts up on the top of some rooftops. And it was like,
A tennis ball just randomly comes flying down on your car.
yeah, I mean, but see, again, this is Chicago, which a lot like New York, I will say there is more than one time where, I was going to a construction meeting and I felt happy that I had my hard hat.
Because you got hit by a tennis ball?
Well, no, you walk downtown. So if you don't know, Lindsay's not going to know this. So in downtown, large buildings in the northern states, like you would imagine, right? Snow accumulates on the roof and then it melts and then it refreezes and then it melts and then it refreezes. And next thing you know, there is ice that falls to the sidewalk.
Yes.
People have gotten killed.
People have gotten killed.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt.
And all they do in Chicago is they put a sign out, watch for falling ice. Watch for
Like what?
Ow, son of a bitch.
Eyeball.
I mean,
Wow.
right?
True
I
story.
mean, come on. This is like
True story.
so. I mean, this is what is life in the life in the northern states.
I'm good.
As a kid, I always used to hear, living in New York, that if you threw a penny
Yes.
off the Empire State Building, it could kill somebody below.
It have
because
enough
it picks up so much velocity
force.
on the way down. Yeah.
I mean, is that murder? I mean, is that how we
Well,
think?
yeah.
I'm sure right now Wendy is thinking the exact same thing I'm thinking.
You want to try it? Not necessarily to kill someone, but just to like
Stand
have
below.
something there.
I mean, there was a tragic story that happened in Chicago 20 years ago.
And the icicle thing, because that's terrifying.
Oh yeah. So
No, it wasn't icicle. It was. Are you talking about the pane of glass?
So the CNA building, like CNA insurance, an insurance building, iconic building in downtown Chicago, and literally a pane of glass. And we're talking like, a 4x8 sheet pane of glass popped out of the 50 something story window. And not only did it fall to the ground, I mean, literally there was a grandmother with her granddaughter walking the streets, and it cut down the grandmother right there in front of the granddaughter. I mean, it's a horrible story.
And the weird part is I literally passed that point just literally seconds before I had a job interview. And by the time I got up there, everyone was frantic about what
everything
happened
downstairs.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the heck happened?
You're like,
I just literally,
what happened?
I just walked past there. I'm like, I was right there.
That's
Weird.
terrifying.
Yeah, there are.
See, no, there's a reason why I don't want to go to the big cities. Like, this is not making me feel any better.
They talk about a million ways to do
I had
it,
no
right?
desire to
And
go to
about half of
Chicago.
them,
Like, I definitely have no desire to go to New York now. Like, what are we doing?
but all right. So I'm gonna flip the script for a second.
There
So
you go.
there was years and years ago, and I am driving in the country, and I am going through, and it is like super foggy, right? And so next thing you know, I come across this car in the fog, pulled over to the side of the road, 2-lane road, and the car has the bumper smashed in, the hood smashed down, the windshield is smashed, the top of the car is smashed, and I'm like,
Oh, did they hit a deer?
and I'm like, how in the hell did somebody drive this car?
Right.
Get another 30, 40 feet down the road, there's a dead cow.
So that
You're not safe. You're not safe anywhere.
No, you're not.
Didn't I tell you that? Like, what was it? A month or two ago, I was driving to work and I was going up Empire the back way, and there's cows up against the mountain, and it tells you, like, watch for cattle, right? No big deal.
Yeah.
So it's and it's wintertime. So it's all of 6 a.m. So it was still dark. And I look to my right, and there's a dead cow on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, random. You go another 100 feet, there's another dead cow on the side of the road. I was like, what the hell happened? So when I get home later that day and I finally get to like look through Facebook and see what's going on, they commented like, I can't believe that this car actually made it because you hit a cow and they pulled the cow off to the side of the road. And I was like, honey, if I hit a cow, like it's taking my car out. Like we're done.
Yeah.
I don't have there's going to be cow on me in the fucking driver's seat.
Yeah.
This is why you should start driving the Ram.
I can't afford
She
to
can't
drive
afford the
Ram.
gas.
I had to drive the Ram when my car was in the shop because apparently it decided to freak out on itself, and it cost me $100. And I went through the whole tank in one day, and I was like, I can't do this.
So
I fixed my car because it was cheaper than driving the truck.
right. Yeah, exactly. So I want to say that the highlight of my New York trip, though, I do want to talk about this for a minute because I know I know a lot of people I've talked about in the past that I had a good friend that I grew up with who passed away in the World Trade Center, and I've been wanting to get out there to see the memorial, and I did. I had the opportunity to go see it, but the one thing I want to say more than anything, you know, you guys know us, Lindsay and I do paranormal investigating. We've done all this stuff.
Don't do nothing.
As I was walking up to the fountains, which are massive because of the size of the base of the old towers.
Is it literally the side? Like
yeah,
the fountain
it's the foundation of the
that's
towers,
cool.
right?
I didn't know that.
So
That's huge.
oh yeah, I mean, and the park is beautiful. It's got trees everywhere. Obviously, it's summer, so everything's green. But I got the craziest feeling in the pit of my stomach when I walked up to those fountains.
Oh, I can only
like
imagine.
nothing I've ever felt on any investigation I've ever done. I mean, it was almost overwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Oh, I can only imagine.
And it was, I mean, so I do have a picture of the fountain.
That's crazy. So that whole fountain is the base of the
that
building.
was the base. I think
That's
that was
huge.
the south tower.
Because it didn't look that big in the picture. It doesn't look that's the base of a building.
Yeah, that's the foundation.
Yep.
That's where the foundation.
Been there, seen that. Yep, it's moving to watch, and then you turn around and you see the church. That's probably, depending on which street you're on, if you're and you see the church, this little church that's across the street.
Yeah.
And that was the first. So, and I probably don't have the facts 100% correct, but they attribute the first death was the New York Fire Department chaplain. And he died in that church. He got hit with debris coming off one of the buildings as soon as the truck rolled up, and got hit. And they they instantly took him across the street to that church to triage him, and he died right there. And so it was just kind of an ironic thing, just an interesting story, because the chaplain for FDNY dies in the church across the street from the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Just kind of a interesting story.
It's crazy. I would love to go see that just to see it.
You're gonna have to go into a city.
I know. I'm not going near that building though. I'm not going in that building.
The buildings.
Not going in the top building.
The building's behind them.
That's fine. It can sit there. I'll look at it and it'll look beautiful, and I'm not going in it.
Then go to Chicago.
Where's this going?
No, thank you.
You can go to Chicago, and you can go to Sears Tower. I refuse to call it the Willis Tower. Go to Sears Tower. Sears Tower has the
Why not the Hancock?
I was going to get to that.
Okay.
Is it more than 17 floors?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It literally is a glass box that sticks out from the observation deck. And so you can stand away from the building in this glass box to see down.
No, see that I do.
To the side.
Like the Japanese bridge that's all glass that goes over that big, huge trench. That I would do.
Well, how would you do that, but not?
Because it's not a building. I am not dying in a building. I'm not dying in an elevator. It's not.
The one he's talking about
You could die on a bridge, though. That's okay.
All day long. I will not do a building. I have an elevator issue, and I will not do it. I will not do it.
If you YouTube it and look at what is it called? I forget what it's called. Sears Tower.
The Skydive.
Ways to die in an elevator? Yeah,
the Skyledge.
Skyledge. That's what it is. Skyledge. Yes, so it's Skyledge and Sears Tower. If you Google it or YouTube it, it actually is pretty cool. Some people do get some severe anxiety up there, and all of a sudden they can't get off of it. They can't get out of the box. And then you go down the street to the John Hancock building, which is not as tall, but in some respects, the John Hancock building is super cool because I've been on the roof of both of them. What?
Why do you find that funny?
John Hancock?
You don't know who John
Hancock is? Like the signature on the Constitution?
Not Hancock. Hancock without the D.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Right now, Dan is rolling his eyes.
I know who Hancock.
Dan, put a roll your eyes emoji up there, would you?
So you're Jan Hancock.
So apparently this picture won't mean anything to her then, huh?
I love it. I love it.
Sorry.
Why
I'm not touching you.
Did you honestly have that ready to show?
Yeah.
Because he went
I was going to talk about my Philly trip too.
Oh,
but
see, maybe all right. There's the
Let
transition.
him talk about his Philly trip.
That was a great segue, John. Thank you.
So who is John Hancock? Not Hancock.
As you get banned from YouTube.
No, not for that. They'll get me for something later.
Okay.
You all right, Keith?
Yeah, I'm good.
Let's talk some history.
It's not like John Hitchcock, who's the guy who makes the stuff.
The guy who makes the stuff?
The scary shows.
Oh, you mean the movies?
It wasn't John. That was Alfred.
Alfred, yes.
That's who he is. That guy too.
Did she say John Hitchcock? Is that what you said? We got to talk about the debate too. We got to get into
Oh
it.
my God.
All I'm going to tell people
Sorry.
is if you put something on your bucket list, go to New York and go see that. And so you were talking about elevators. So the elevator ride up to the
God.
observation deck was freaking
Oh, it's
awesome.
just
So
I can't
I want
even-
to say it's like 102 floors. Okay.
Okay.
The elevator was TVs, right? So they're all screens on the elevator. It takes 42 seconds to get up there, which is pretty quick.
Oh wow. Under a minute?
Yeah, under a minute to get up there.
How
But the
many
cool
floors?
thing is it's 102, I think.
Wow,
'Cause
that's,
I think we went to the 102nd floor. Yeah. The coolest thing was they played a history of New York from like the 1700s.
That's to
In
make you forget
2
that you're going
seconds?
to 102 floors.
What's that?
in 42 seconds?
Yeah, it just kept like going through the years and showed you how New York built up throughout the years and everything. It was freaking awesome.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
You
gonna
completely
have to
forgot you were on an elevator. Like
I'm going
completely.
to YouTube that just to see if they have that on YouTube somewhere.
It was very cool. Very cool experience.
Why is it that makes me want to puke?
And then when you get up there, you don't even know until you look out the window because they got restaurants up there and stuff and a little cafe. You don't even know.
So it's a spire, right?
It's not. No.
Is
No.
it like offices? What does the building consist of? Is
I
it
don't-
just an
honestly,
elevator to get up
It's
there?
offices.
Yeah, it's got
just
to
an
it's got to
elevator
be
to go to
opposite.
102
No.
floors.
So the observation deck, it's a whole separate section. They have their own elevators for the observation
Oh, 'cause
deck,
you're
so it
just
doesn't
going
go
up.
to any of the other
Yeah.
floors. I don't think it just goes
Sears
straight.
Tower, Sears Tower is that same way. Yep.
Because then you're not getting stuck with all the office guys
Right,
who are like, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just the coolest experience, man. I
No.
mean, I'm
No.
not a big elevator guy either, but as you're watching the presentation, you completely forget you're in an elevator. I mean, it's so cool. Very cool.
That is a
So-
really good sell to try to get me to do it. I'm still not doing it.
It's a bucket list.
Lindsay, on
No.
top of that, did you know that the buildings move?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're able to sway a little bit with the winds.
So Sears Tower is an example. So they have
No,
only
thank you.
out of the, I think it's,
They're on like
20
rollers, right? On the bottom.
so out of the 24 or 36 elevators that Sears Tower has, or something like that, I forget exactly the number. There's only one elevator that goes from the bottom to the top, and that is, other than the Skydeck elevators, but the only other one on the regular building side is just the freight elevator. And so on windy days, which Chicago's called the Windy City, they will actually take the freight elevator and they will put it in the middle of the building because they can't operate it because the cables themselves are slapping the side of the elevator shaft.
That's crazy.
So we're gonna go into
She's like, okay, I'm done. It'll never ever happen.
Never
Thanks,
I
John.
don't know why it won't happen. So I was just a baby. I was all of 2 years into healthcare. So I was a bright and 2-year-old. Okay. So our elevator, it was
So that was like 2 years ago, right?
right. Yeah. It's just not really happened. I've had this terror for 2 years. So we had 5 floors in this building, 6 if you want to count the basement. So not a big building, right? Tiny little nothing building, 5 stories. You can take the stairs, no big deal. Well, when you have a patient, you can't. You have to go with them in the elevator. So you go in this elevator. This elevator would stop 60% of the time. We're here. We need props. Here's the door. Okay, the door is supposed to open. You're supposed to be even with the door, with the floor, right? Like this is how you're supposed to be when you open the door. You'd be like this. And the door would open. Okay. So then you'd go back down to come back up. And then if you're lucky, you got it on the second time. Or it would drop a floor for no fucking reason.
That's crazy.
And
Hence her fear of elevators now.
you have a patient that you have to try to not lose your shit on and pretend like you didn't just pee yourself because you just dropped 20 feet and tell them it's fine when it's really not fucking fine. So I'm not going to know.
So I spent
doing it.
I spent 6 months in Sears Tower putting in the security system there. And so
How many
We
times
got-
did you go in the elevator?
None.
a lot. So we
Don't tell me you shit like
they had in the freight elevator. So again, the elevator is the only one that goes up and down, right? All the entire length of the building, and so they have an operator that actually runs it.
Right.
Not like a lot of buildings where you just go in there and you push a button. They actually have a person that operates it, and I swear, and I don't know this to be fact, but I think that part of the reason that they have this person there is for safety purposes, because depending on how heavy the elevator is and what the distance is that you're traveling. I mean, if it's, just a couple people and you're going 5 floors, no big deal. But there have been times where we had a fully loaded elevator and we come down to the basement and he would sit there and he is like, hold on, as he opens the doors, right? And freight elevators don't always go this way. The doors sometimes go this way. And so the doors go like that and the elevator is still bouncing.
Oh, God.
I was going to say, please tell me it's one of those old cage elevators.
No, it's not an old cage.
No cage.
But it is. But you are watching the floor sitting there and doing this in front of you and coming to a stop. And then he let you go.
Just no.
You're not helping the cause.
Yeah.
You're
I don't think the cause is
He's
going to
gonna
happen.
call you guys and be like, she's not drunk enough. She won't go in the elevator yet. I gotta go get her some more drink. I'm not doing it.
You're ruining my chances of taking her back
It's
to
not.
New York.
I will sit there and you can wave to me I'm not doing it. Not that I really want to be on New York Street by myself, but it'll be fine.
So going back to the John Hancock.
Yes. Cock or hand?
Dan's comment.
All right. No, did you read it?
One of the coolest experiences.
What does it matter?
One of the coolest experiences in this industry.
Our third strike, we're not gonna be able to do next week.
Yeah.
I was on so I've been on the roof of several buildings, as I'm sure Keith has been on the roof of several buildings.
Mm.
And I was on the roof of the John Hancock building, which is a very cool building because it is straight. The building is angled slightly, but it is straight down from the roof right down to the sidewalk. And with a slight curve. So it's a little bit wider at the bottom than it is at the top, but I'm standing on the top of there and I'm working on a card reader. This is back when I was a technician in the day, and there's a helicopter that flies below me. What is that?
So that was the second part of my story, is after we found out that there's a fucking park on the top of the building next to him. And I was like, oh, look, there's a helicopter. Oh, he's way lower than you.
That happens.
Why?
They can fly.
The
They can fly in
helicopter.
the city.
I don't
As
want.
long as they're not flying in buildings, it's okay.
Well,
I hope not.
Here's
but,
the funny thing. I will be honest with you. So I was up there. We were walking around, and so it's a 360 view. You're walking all the way around. And at one point, I did see a plane going by, and I'd be lying if I said my butt didn't pucker a little bit. Okay.
You were like, just keep going, Jesus. Am I right with you? Are we good? Are we good?
I swear, I thought this was a no-fly zone.
Yeah. It was a little prop plane, but it was going. I could see it going across. But
Lower than you.
it was lower than me.
That's a
yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. No.
So going back to Philadelphia. So give us a history lesson.
Oh, yeah, where'd you go?
All right. So hang on.
Well, in New York, first of all, where did you eat?
Oh, I had pizza, of course.
Ugh,
How would you not?
New York pizza.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Is there any
That was
better than
judgment.
that there, Mr.
Yeah.
Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago pizza. You're practically spelling it out.
Okay, so what is the difference? Like, I know y'all got an issue with your pizzas, but it's fucking bread, sauce, and cheese. What's the problem?
It's how it's made. There's a beef.
Totally different.
No.
Totally different.
No.
Even down to how they cut
It's a
it.
person anyways. What's the difference?
So the big difference is that Chicago's sauce is sweeter.
Yes.
Oh, so you put sugar in your sauce.
They
Okay.
put sugar in the sauce, and then they cut it in squares.
Yep.
And
Usually the crust, the thin crust is a lot thinner.
But normal, just regular pizza. Like, I know you can get the thick, you can get the
there's
thin.
no folding in half. What kind of BS is that? That
Oh,
is
it's crazy.
Oh,
I don't
don't
get it.
no. You should be either eating pizza in little squares with a real super thin crust, or you should be eating it with a knife and fork.
You didn't just say that.
No, that's weird
Yeah.
shit too. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I would-
Look at Wendy
What
saying.
the hell's wrong? What's wrong with you?
The stuffed pizza.
I don't know him.
If I ate a slice of
Clearly.
pizza with a fork and a knife in New York, I'd get shanked.
Right?
No, we're talking deep
I
dish
don't
pizza.
hold my pizza. That's
Oh.
just weird.
Okay, deep dish is different. We were
That's
talking.
what I'm talking about.
You were talking about thin crust.
Oh,
Talking about normal
You're
pizza.
supposed
Like,
to-
go
you're
get a
supposed to
pizza.
be following along with me.
You
know?
did not change. You did not stop and change the subject to
I
thick
did.
crust.
Oh, I thought you were
Blah, 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 blah.
So regular, I'm gonna walk into a place in New York and order a slice of pizza. I know what I'm gonna get. Something that they're gonna fold. I'm not gonna fold. I walk into Chicago and I get a slice of pizza. Am I gonna get a square?
Yes.
Not necessarily. I mean, if you're going to a place where they sell by the slice, you're getting a New York slice.
Okay.
They don't sell a square of pizza.
No.
Okay.
No.
But if I get a whole pie, it's gonna be cut in squares. I'm not against the square thing, which is whatever.
Most of them. There are some that still do the pie shape.
Okay. So the main difference is the sweet sauce to the not sauce.
Yeah.
And apparently how you eat it.
Well, you put garlic salt and you fold it in half. It is kind of weird.
She just said that.
Judge them every time they eat pizza, and I don't eat pizza like that.
What can I say? But I you know what?
I'm from Arizona. We don't have anything with burritos and tacos.
I
That's what
do
we
have to say.
Oh, no. You have
Go ahead.
San Fernello's? No, what is it? Spinatos?
Spinatos has good pizza. I like that.
That's Chicago pizza.
That's a Chicago pizza.
Here's the thing. I never talk bad about Chicago pizza because I actually love deep dish. I love deep dish pizza.
But deep dish you can get in New York. It's just thicker
No,
crust.
it's not the same. It's not the same. No, I wouldn't eat deep dish in New York. In New York, it's just regular pizza, just straightforward pizza.
But it's a thicker
I feel
crust.
passionately about stuff.
What's
like
that?
A taco's a taco. We're good.
So New York pizza, if I'm not mistaken, the crust is a little bit thicker,
It's
correct?
thicker, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
But
you gotta whip that thing around. And,
Well, no,
and
you
roll
gotta
it up.
fold it.
You gotta
It's gotta
roll it
hold
up,
everything.
And you gotta stuff that in your pocket.
It's a pizza. It's a pizza
All sorts
taco.
of- all
Fold
sorts
it in half, clearly.
Yeah. some kind of BS there or something. I'm not real sure.
hey.
You know what?
Chicago.
I just want to say we really miss you guys.
So I want to know: Did
Try
Keith
both.
have?
I don't like any pizza and
I
see
know.
which one I like.
I know.
That'd be funny.
But did Keith have an honest to goodness Philly?
A what?
I did not.
What?
Yeah.
You went to Philadelphia and did not have a Philly?
Did not. No, I didn't. I had one last time I was there though.
Okay.
I did. They had that I can't remember the name of it. It's a market that has all these different like vendors in it and all these different
Oh, okay.
like food
Yeah.
vendors and stuff in it. It's like it's famous. It's world famous in Philly. And I went there the last time I was there. I don't remember what I was there for. And I did have a Philly cheesesteak and it was delicious.
Okay.
But not this time. I didn't have
It's
it. this
bread, meat, peppers, and onions and cheese.
time. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're gonna make me drool. Here, stop.
Right? I know exactly. It's good stuff.
And I know with a traditional one, they put the like cheddar cheese on or American cheese. I prefer Swiss myself.
I don't know. It's got cheese. I'm out.
I like Swiss.
You're out? You don't like cheese?
I don't like cheese. That's why I don't like pizza. I had pizza in New York with Keith, and I was like, oh, okay, this one's okay. But like, I'm not a cheese person.
If you're not a cheese person, I can see why pizza is not your thing. You gotta like cheese.
Arizona. I like hot sauce and tacos.
Well, that's why you like places like Mod Pizza because they're
I cannot put cheese on it.
They're
It's
super
so
thin and you
bad.
make it the way you want to make it. So
Mhm.
yeah.
All right, the debate looks like it's
You
over.
judge me when I say no cheese.
Is it over?
It looks like it's winding down. I saw Trump do his.
Is he
Yeah,
like
but-
this?
He had the last word, so
Are
he
you-
had the closing statement.
Are you saying we can talk about it now?
Apparently,
I don't know what happened in the last half, though. I want to see how much his meds wore down.
Well, we can talk about the first half that we actually watched, though.
You're not touching me.
Let me show you some Biden memes that I found today because I didn't even know.
I mean-
all right.
Did anybody else watch the debates?
Show you pictures of Philadelphia.
Not yet.
Okay.
What'd you say, Wendy?
I'm asking if anybody else watched the debates.
Oh, in the audience?
The end
let us
part?
know if you
Yeah.
Well, they can't watch the end part. They were watching us. No, it should say depends on the bottom.
want. Right.
You know what? It should have been the Rock and Sock'em robots.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Or
The
those
blue and
alligators,
red one.
hungry hippos.
Yeah.
This one was good too.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
then there was this one.
He must have glitched on his like resting face because that was his.
Right. And then, of course, I had to ask him Babylon B for you, John, because you love him.
Secret Lab taking perfect drug cocktail for Biden to make it through 90-bit debate. Allegedly so there was a story that came out yesterday or the day before that said he was actually practicing to stand for 90 minutes.
Really?
Huh? Did you see that death grip on the fucking podium?
Yeah, he was taking a shit then.
No, he didn't have the right face. It's a different face. But he was holding on to it, man, trying not to let go.
It was a delayed reaction.
Oh my God.
Although the second half, I can confirm nor deny that he took a shit. I haven't watched it yet.
Now all of a sudden we need a 6-foot radius for a different reason.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. Look at Trump's face. See if he smelled anything.
Scientists torn on whether to blame heat wave on climate change, Trump, or white supremacy.
So I saw this news article day before yesterday that said that now somebody is offended with good morning.
What?
Why are we worried about who is offended over
Just
what anymore?
saying, now
Why can't we just say, you know
somebody
what, you do
is
you. I'm going to do
offended.
me.
If you're
If you
offended,
don't like it, scroll
you're
on.
through it.
Scroll on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this isn't even a, I would assume. Now, I don't know. I stopped reading this clickbait in the first place other than just the headlines, but it's like, really? You're telling me that, because I doubt it's like somebody's sitting there and bitching about it on Facebook. I could be wrong, but I'm
I
thinking
think
it's
people
more
put
of
the shit out there
they
just to create chatter. And it works.
So somebody is complaining that, good morning is offending them.
Scroll on.
Yeah, go tell him good morning.
But, and then now they're saying that Haktua is taking away from the whole Pride Month.
What?
She doesn't know, does she?
No, she doesn't.
What is Haktua?
So
You know what, Lindsay?
Real quickly,
Yeah.
grab your phone. Hold on. We're gonna. All right. So take us off, Keith. Go, zoom in. Keith, just do the one picture.
hold on, but you got to say what you're going to say because if I take you off,
What am I looking up? Hawk? Hack?
HAWK
HAWK
TUA
H.
H.
TUAH.
Yeah.
Yes.
It says girl Haktua song meaning video meme.
Watch it and put the speaker up to the.
I wouldn't do the song though, right? Was it? It wasn't the song. It was
it's everything. No, it's not a song. It wasn't originally. Wasn't a song.
Okay, let's see what happens. Some girl on TikTok.
yes.
Put
That's
the
what
speaker
we're
up to
talking
the microphone.
Is that who we're talking about?
Yeah.
She was on TikTok.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Viral TikTok meme explained.
I tried to find the video because I was going to play it.
How could you not find it? Joe Rogan's talked about it.
But has he?
Yeah, saying that he couldn't understand how
To a girl.
it is blown up worldwide. It is not. He has never seen anything that has gone viral this quickly.
That's funny too.
And I mean, there's nothing to it.
I know, but it's just the fact that
I can't be bothered.
Don't read it. Find the video.
Oh, you
find
want the video?
It's all
yeah.
10 seconds. It's 10 seconds or something like that.
Yeah.
If that. Yeah. If 10 seconds.
It was I sent you a picture of it and I told you to look up the video.
You didn't send me anything,
Yes, I did.
and it's not like I actually listened. Right here.
And there, Keith, explained your whole relationship.
You gotta give him that hook to it. Spit on that thing.
Oh yeah, no, that's come on, baby. But that's what happens after you
Play
spit on.
it, put it up against the speaker one more time, up against the microphone.
To it. Spit on that thing. You get me? You gotta give him that hook to it. Spit on that thing. You get me?
It has
It has
gone
been
viral.
made into, it is not only memes, it is music. There was a baseball player that did it, I think in New York during the week this week.
Oh yeah.
It's everywhere. I mean, it's being talked about by Joe Rogan. It's,
So there was
and Lindsay's like, I'm not impressed.
so there was actually a
I mean, that's what happens afterwards, not before. I don't even know what led up to this conversation. How did we get there?
I don't know.
So
but
basically, it was a man on the street type thing. It was in Nashville. And so she was asked by some guy that's, I don't know if it was Barstool or whoever it was, basically, what do you do to, keep your guy? And so there was all these different, the whole conversation lasted about 30 seconds. But the biggest part that went viral is that, handful of seconds of the Tua and spit on that thing.
I mean, any woman who knows that ain't not true.
And her father is so proud.
I'm sure. You're right. I'm sure.
He's like, that's my girl, right there.
Oh wow.
Welcome to Tennessee.
Yeah, exactly.
well, there was like a municipal paper, but online paper that put out. It was just tongue in cheek. That actually means something like Happy Thanksgiving in this Indian culture, blah blah blah. I mean, it was all tongue in cheek. It was freaking hysterical.
Seriously.
Yes.
Yeah, and let's go Brandon means, let's go Brandon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's go Brandon.
But the fact is, there were so many people that were like,
You're
"Oh
real
my God, she insulted this Indian, blah blah blah," and she was like apologizing for it,
Oh
and
my
I'm just
God.
like,
Why
people
would
are
you
literally-
apologize? Why do people bow down to people who have fucking ridiculous things? That's not what happened. Why are we sitting here apologizing for January 6th? That's not what happened. There was no insurrection. Y'all gave us fucking the open door.
Oh, this is it. This is the third strike.
Yep.
Here we go.
You're never even going to get to the last show.
Yeah, we maybe. I'm so sorry. My
We're
dog's
done.
upset.
It's gonna be a Rumble exclusive. The last show.
We're watching. We got YouTube and Rumble up. We're going to see which one drops off.
Well, I still got green check marks across the board, so far we're good.
No, Karen will get us later.
It'll get us later. Well, yeah, we had something written up about us. What, a couple weeks ago? From like
What'd we do?
2 seasons ago. Remember that?
What?
You
It
got
was like
yeah,
a month ago, and it was like, hey, by the way, season 1, episode 4. You said something wrong, and I was like, I probably.
Go to judge.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
It probably was Brutal Judge. I don't remember.
How is that wiener sucker? Is he good? I haven't heard much about him.
Oh my God! All right, let's get
I missed it all.
let's get into
I
the
still
debate
think the
before we
last
get-
show
You
should
know,
be. I still say that the last show should be Lindsay and the Davidsons.
That is great. That is a great title. Just saying.
I should do that.
for the last show. The only person that's gonna be on is Jack.
Oh, come on. You can talk Dan into it.
Davidsons and
Right,
Jack.
Dan? You'll be on.
Dan and Rob. Rob loves this stuff.
Oh God, don't tell, because Rob's gonna fucking be here.
No, he's gonna be in Hawaii.
Oh,
Oh, is he that?
Yeah, so he won't be here. So
oh yeah. See, this would be perfect. He can do it during the hot part of the day. He can come inside, do the video, and then go back out. That's ideal.
What a mess.
we should
It's
do
like almost 11 o'clock here on the East Coast.
we should do
I sympathize with Christine now.
right.
See,
We should-
Christine agrees. It should be Lindsay and the Davidsons.
We should just do one random episode called Lindsay and the Davidsons.
This is not a random episode.
It is all of our episodes are random episodes.
Lindsay and the Davidsons.
Yeah, sure.
And the cute guy who was like, "Oh, it'll be great to be part of my family."
What? Is there a story here I missed?
Can we talk about the debate, please?
Oh, you want to know what makes me sad? Oh, the show is ending and we got engaged on the show.
Mm.
Yeah, you were holding your nose when that happened.
Yeah, that's true. I got farted on. It smelled bad.
I got pictures to show that.
I wish we had smell-o-vision.
And the culprit is sitting right there, too. That's
It
funny.
smelled really bad.
That was a real Haktua moment.
So, who else watched the debate that's watching us? Christine?
I'll keep the comments up. Does anybody else watch the debate, the debacle, I should say?
I want to know what happened in the second half.
So here's something interesting. So I was watching something on CNN. They were talking about the way the debate was set up this year. So what they did differently is I guess they had lights on the podium. So when the light was on, their mic would be on. When the light was off, their mic would be off. No, I know, but I don't think they've ever done that before because I think that's what they complained about the last debate is that they were talking over each other. So now they had a kill switch that would, when the other person was talking, they would just kill the other mic.
Yeah, they've never had a kill switch on a debate before, especially when it's down to this level, right? You know, maybe in smaller debates when it was, all of the Democrats or all of the Republicans, maybe. But yeah, this is the first time they've ever done it when it's the two major competitors and RFK is doing it over on X. So they gave him a whole
two clear adults and you can't stop talking when you're supposed to stop talking.
But they never can. I mean, I'm glad that they did that because otherwise they're just talking all over each other.
So Dan, you got to think about it. So I'm going to speak to Dan's comment about why would you watch anything that CNN hosted. So as a prime example, so we watched it on Newsmax and CNN held it. Now you got to remember Trump said anywhere, anytime. And so he basically said, I don't care what rules you come up with. I'm there with bells on. So he didn't put any stipulations, any kind of rules onto that. So he was he painted himself into a corner. Not that it was, a bad corner, but he painted himself into a corner that he was going to have to agree to whatever they came up with. And they came up with, they wanted to be able to stop him from talking over everybody. But that being said, the basic debate strategy is you don't have to answer the question.
Right.
So that's what they seem to both be doing is they're just bringing up their points regardless of what the question was.
Pretty much.
So I'm
not touching you.
I do have to say something real quick. We've done the show for almost 3 years. This is the first time I've ever seen Christine drop the F-bomb. Am I right?
Oh, wait, I got to scroll through that.
100% is.
And she apologized for the language.
I know. As the first Christine, I'm proud of you.
Go Christine.
I'm so glad in 5 years that I've worn off on you. That's great. It's about time.
Christine, we love you.
It's a proud moment right now.
All right, so let's talk about the debate, shall we? Let's get into it.
All right.
Yeah.
What are we going to say?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we think really went on tonight. I mean, I thought
it was interesting. I thought Jake Tapper, whom has no love for Trump whatsoever,
right,
and it basically compared him to.
I was up there asking questions.
Well, he's actually gone down the road, and I've seen several times this past 2 weeks that he has not called him Hitler. He has actually portrayed him as Hitler and talking that Trump mimics the same talk of Mein Kampf. If you don't know what Mein Kampf is, it is the book that Hitler wrote before he got into office.
Yep.
Interesting.
So that being said, I thought it was interesting that Jake Tapper asked about January 6th. Trump went down a different path and talked about how he said, there's nothing that I did. I talked about peacefully and patriotically. Then Nancy Pelosi didn't bring any of the troops, even though she should have. And she already admitted a week ago that she should have.
Mistake.
And then Mary Bowser, who's mayor of DC. We have emails that showed that she specifically, I mean, there's on her Twitter feed, Marion Bowser said, if any troops are in DC, she put this out the day before. She says they have not been invited. And the one, and I thought it was interesting, Bongino brings up a good point, which I thought was a twist on it as to why they didn't want anybody there. They were afraid, according to Dan Bongino, he's got a theory of maybe they were afraid that if the troops were in town, they would follow Trump and he would cause an actual coup.
What?
Like, he's got all these troops in town and he's just going to say, no, I got it. Let's
go take it over.
This is mine. I'm not giving it up. And that's why the Democrats did not want, they all knew that there was going to be trouble, right? Mm-hmm. They all put up the fencing and stuff like that, but they wanted nobody in uniform to be there.
And here's my biggest issue. My biggest issue is even if it wasn't staged, let's say it actually happened. Let's say people went there on their own free will to, storm into the Capitol building. You can't put that on Trump because every speech you watch, he said, let's peacefully and patriotically march down to the Capitol and defend our freedoms, right? He didn't say go storm the Capitol building.
It doesn't matter. They dug up a local New York law that was already passed. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It was overdue. It was past its
expiration.
Well, yeah, there's a legal term for that, whatever it's called. I can't think of it right now.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, it was past the statute of limitations. They turned it into. It had already been turned down by Alvin Bragg once, and they turned around and they made it. They twisted it into from a misdemeanor to a felony, and convicted him on 34 counts of it, just to be able to say you are convicted felon for 34 counts. They don't care what it looks like. They are going to twist it to be whatever they want it to be.
Well, I mean, for that trial, even the judge had said they didn't have to be, they could have all agreed on like 3 over here or 3 over here or 4 over. That's not how the system is supposed to work. I mean, they like broke it apart and said, okay, you know what? We're bending the rules. We're gonna make it appear like this, and they achieved that. That's if it was somebody else, that would not have passed the muster, so to speak.
Well, maybe I'm mistaken, and maybe I heard wrong. But did I not hear that the 34 counts were based on every time the check was cashed? Basically, every time the money
was transferred.
That I don't know. All I know is, was a prime example, right? They paid, so they and even Wendy has said this, right? Because Wendy has done, accounting and bookkeeping and things of that nature. And she's like, so they're convicting Trump on something that he probably never even knew happened.
Right.
Because there was somebody that probably, 6, 7 levels down said,
wrote a check.
Yeah, write a check for this person, and she goes, what do you want me to put it under? I don't know. Legal expenses. And that's what he
probably
got
doesn't even know that any of those transactions even took place. He was probably so far removed. Someone else said, do this. He doesn't know about it.
Because I'll guarantee you, right? Because I'll guarantee that Keith and I will sit there and do our expense reports for him being, gallivanting around and having fun in, Jersey and New York and Philadelphia. And he's going to look at one of these and go, well, is that expenses for meals or is that entertainment?
Hey, it's not on the company dime. Stop it.
That's like I do. Let's be real. Like when I have to expense stuff for all of my conferences that I go to and all of those kind of things, there is no actual expense tab for that. I'm like, this seems like it could be for like sales. Sure, why not? Let's just pick that one. Let's go for that. Like
and that's it. I mean, there's so much gray area sometimes that you have to just go because I'm dealing with filling out these forms for certain things, and we're like, well, is this a yes or a no? Well, it's not a yes or a no because it's got a certain factor that it's a maybe. It all depends on what this particular manufacturer does versus that manufacturer. And you want me to answer yes or no for all of them.
Exactly.
As a group.
No. It's neither.
Yeah.
It's as Christine says, it's how it's perceived.
Yeah.
How it's worded.
And again, I can word it something totally different than he would word it, than Keith would word it, than you would word it, because it's all different. But does that have anything to do with the guy in charge? He has no fucking idea.
Right.
That he does. He is at that level where he doesn't know what's going on.
No,
he
and
truly
again,
doesn't.
It was.
Or should he? That's what he's got people for.
Exactly.
Well, and it
That's
was something that was a misdemeanor. It would have been just a small fine, a clerical fine for, hey, you shouldn't do that.
Hey, your
And
guy.
they twisted it to make it into a felony.
Of course they did.
Yeah, right.
Because look at where we are. Look at what time of the year it is.
Well,
and they're just taking a shotgun approach to, hey, you know what? Let's just see how many cases we can put against them and see what's going to really stick.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, in the legal world, that's called a shotgun approach, and that's what they're doing.
yeah.
It's like throwing noodles at a wall. Which one's going to stick?
I found it where Christine swore. I found it in the comments.
You found it?
We got to highlight that.
What are you going to take a picture of it?
I may.
I think he already did. There he
Screenshot.
goes.
Oh my God. Sorry, Christine.
I think it's great. I love it.
That Christine cursed or that John's
They
crazy?
can make it look like he knew about it. Yeah, exactly.
Of course, because now it's all concerned about, oh, what can we make him look bad for now? We're distraction as we've been this whole time during this whole this whole time with him. It's always distraction. Oh, what's really going on? We don't know. We're just fucking distraction over here.
Right.
And I mean,
You know what's happening?
my concern is, okay, you know what? What if he truly wins this time? He wins, he's in office. Can you only imagine the shit show that is going to ensue?
Yeah. Yep.
Because of that.
He's never going to be able to get anything done. And this is the conversation you and Keith have had. And I don't know if you've seen this because I know you're on East Coast time and it's late where you are. I don't think he's actually going to make it because I think they're going to cheat terribly and he's never going to actually make it in office. By actual votes, I think he will, but they're never actually going to get there. So let's, God forbid, they don't get all their people to skis and cheat and they actually do make it. What are they going to do? They had him in court so many times during his last presidency. Can you even imagine what it's going to be now? The man's never going to be able to actually be in office because he's going to be in a courthouse every damn day.
And I think that's really truly their intention. That's why all these cases are ongoing, because that's what they're expecting.
Absolutely.
I mean, there, as John always said, there's a long-term game plan with the Democrats, and
Absolutely.
I try to be very neutral, but in this case, it's like it just seems very
Blatant.
very, you know what? It's a chess game. It's a chess game, and they have really thought about their moves and what they're going to do for the future and how they're going to tie his hands, basically, if he does get in office.
Oh, they've already got the court cases lined up. They already know every single thing they're going to pull out.
Well, they're
I mean,
right now. I mean, even if you,
I don't know. After this debate, they might be a little bit.
Even if you hate Trump, for all those people who hate Trump out there, and you know, I didn't agree with everything he said tonight. I thought he could have handled things differently. But
$1.99 gas is great.
But when you just look at Biden, okay, when you just look and say this is the guy that represents the free world, how can you, with an open mind, say, you know, fuck, this is the guy for me, right?
It's the best Biden ever.
As Jack would say, let's get on board with Team Idiot or Team Dumbass, whatever it is. You know, I mean, it's true.
It comes down to which is the least
tonight.
What was that?
Best.
Yeah, the best Biden ever.
Best
Yeah.
Biden ever.
I mean, I truly believe it goes back to, it comes down to which is the lesser of the two evils. Not, oh my gosh, we have this guy and this guy. They're both great. How do we choose? How do we choose between these two because they're both great? It's never been that way. It's the lesser of the two evils.
What? Okay, so let me ask the question of especially of you two that think that he's never gonna get in.
Oh, he's getting in. Oh, who? Sorry.
Trump.
Oh,
Yeah, see, I don't think so.
So the question is, what is, and I know Wendy's going to sit there and say her biggest gripe about Trump is the way he talks and the way he doesn't shut his mouth. You know, and
he actually did a really good job tonight, except for getting off topic. I thought he was going to go off on a tangent, and it's like, ooh, it's just going to go down in flames. But he did.
But as a president, what did Trump do wrong?
I think because he wasn't one of those eloquent type people that could speak to just about anyone and unite people. It was, you either loved him or you hate him. There was no in between.
But we had that the presidency before, and he was doing nothing but screwing us then too.
But and I get that, but I think right now America needs someone that can really unite people. Because guess what? We're not the United States of America. We're the divided states of America. And we need to get back to being the United States of America. And we need someone that can do that can talk to this group, and talk to this group, and unite them in a feel-good moment. Are they going to do it any other way? I don't think so. It's going to have to be a Jack Kennedy type moment where they love him just because of how he speaks.
I get that. And I totally agree with that aspect of it. But when did the division start?
It's been there for a long time. And
when did the division get exasperated?
Oh, wait.
Probably in the Obama years.
Eloquent speaker, and yet he did his damnedest to divide us.
But I think that was the whole plan under
versus him. We've got a guy who's a lot rough around the edges. There are times where he shouldn't be speaking. God knows he should not
open mouth and foot. Put the other one in there.
He should not be on Twitter or Truth or anything. He should be off social media whatsoever. But there was very little that he did. I mean, he even at one point, and I'm a big 2A advocate, and at one point he even pissed off the 2A community because of the fact that he even said, all right, do we really need bump stocks? And so, even that point, he pissed off part of his base.
Mm-hmm.
But, as a president, he lowered taxes at the corporate level, which in turn, a lot of us got taxed less.
He did a lot of good things. We got
more out of, but unfortunately at the time, Keith and I worked for a company who literally put out a memo that goes, yeah, we're making more money, but we're not giving any of it to you.
You don't get anything. Sorry, but thanks.
And they paid the CFO to come up with this newsletter to explain in a 2-page memo as to why they were not going to give us any money. But anyhow,
he did good things. I think they were overshadowed by his mouth. If he had just scaled back on that and just said, you know what, let what I'm doing speak for itself. I don't need to speak then.
I'm sitting there and my point is that we've had the eloquent speaker.
He doesn't have to be eloquent. He just needs to know when to shut it.
Well, okay. But he also did good things as a president. And now we've got the guy that can't do good things as a president nor speak eloquently. And then and it's one of the things that now I've been saying for the last 2 years on the show, it feels like they're doing it on purpose, but we couldn't figure out to why. I think I've connected the dots.
Oh, really? Are you going to enlighten us?
So I was watching, and if you Google it, there actually is from our favorite international organization.
Babylon Bee.
Come on, Keith. What's our favorite international organization?
Al Jazeera.
WEF.
Yes.
Okay.
What?
Oh.
So the World Economic Forum puts out there that
I do like them.
So they put out this whole now like propaganda thing that talks about everything from the you're going to own nothing and like it to we are going to literally, there's a slide in there that says we're going to bring the United States. The United States will not be the sole power of the world, and that it says that there will be a consortium or whatever they call it, and it shows like 20 different flags. The United States is in there, but so is China, and so is Russia, and so is everybody else. And there will be basically the one world government with a bunch of flags similar to the EU.
Is this the same World Economic Forum that told us how we were going to react to a pandemic 6 months before the pandemic?
Yes.
Yes.
I just wanted to make
It's also the same World Economic Forum that sits there and says that we need to start eating more bugs because cows are bad, and gasoline is bad, natural gas is bad, blah blah blah.
Well,
this
of
is
course,
everything.
because my electric car you can turn off when I jaywalk or have a YouTube show.
What are you looking up?
So I saw something today. Oops. That was posted by one of our neighbors, our former neighbors, and it was so true.
Oh, the ones down here?
The ones down there, yeah. It was the 7 blunders of the world that led to violence.
By who?
It's by
Gandhi.
So, number 1, wealth without work.
Don't we have that with all those people sitting at home getting Social Security and unemployment and all that stuff?
No, not Social Security, welfare. The Social Security recipients, they work their asses off, or
they paid in.
Well, most of them did. Yeah.
That's disability and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. Not disability. I mean, I get it. You get hurt, but the welfare.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one, pleasure without conscience.
Okay.
Number 3, knowledge without character.
That's any phone.
Ooh, that's good, Lindsay.
Number 4.
Knowledge without ever having to experience anything. I can Google anything.
Number 4, commerce without morality. Number 5, science without humanity.
Gee, well, that doesn't sound like
Fauci.
Here we go. Here, I'm watching YouTube right now. It just went black.
Fauci. I'm a woman, but I'm a man.
Oh, you said, I'm watching YouTube and it's getting a little shaky right now.
There's 2 more. There's 2 more. You guys want to hear the other 2?
Yes,
of course.
Okay. Number 6, worship without sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Number 7, politics without principle.
Okay.
That's been a while.
And I saw that earlier today by, like I said, one of our old neighbors that posted it. It's like, oh my God, that's exactly what we need on this debate night.
Well, and then there was something that I was reading a long time ago that talks about, and it goes back to Greek times, the way to defeat an empire, essentially, is first of all to make them doubt what a woman is.
Well, I've heard that.
Because as soon as you change that, you change your whole your whole humanity, the whole way you look at things. Because why? Shh. Shush. I'm talking.
It sounded like somebody yelled.
That was the
So
dog.
the whole thing, let's get real here. We're gonna get real. Can you give me a minute?
We don't need sound effects. We have dogs.
Bill.
She's so old and she's so cranky. Will you just give me a minute?
Wow.
So the reason why, being a man, break it down to simple stuff. Why do you get up and go to work? Because you have a wife to take care of.
Right.
Because you have kids to take care of. Why did you get up and go to work when you were younger? Because you wanted to take women out on dates. Because you wanted money to do certain things. It's literally that simple. And if we take away what a woman is, why are you working for that then? What are you working to do?
Right.
To take out that drag queen.
You don't know what's under there.
Now you know why the Greeks fell.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, you're going into that, and then you go into, okay, well, are women going to go out and fight for our country? Women are all riled up, and I'm going to be whatever I want to be, and you can't tell me what to do. Oh, so you're going to go in for the draft?
There are a lot of women that do.
We got a bunch of men that don't want to do it.
Right, exactly.
And take those princesses out in their Crocs and their fucking tank tops.
I sent you guys a picture, by the way. I texted you a picture.
There was attitude in the.
When did you text it?
Just now.
I saw the phone go off.
Oh,
Attitude in the studio.
all I have. Last thing
There's my girl. I miss her.
She's old and she's cranky.
She's been her.
Can you blame her? She earned that.
Yeah.
She's only like 16.
Puppy in the studio.
She earned that.
and you got,
Just like when we get old, we earn
and
that
you got-
right
and
to
you
be
got
cranky.
Shiva over here in the corner going, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
She's like, ew.
Are you guys
gross.
done yet?
Are we done? Can we go home?
One of my favorite lines from a movie, Hunt for Red October. You ever seen Hunt for Red October?
Yeah, a million times.
Is when they're in the conference room talking, and he goes, "I'm kissing babies and stealing their lollipops." Right? And that's a typical politician.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the difference in Trump is he's not your typical politician, and
He's not.
He's a businessman, which
He doesn't care.
right. And I think the biggest thing that America's lost is that we have a government by the people and for the people. Right? I think that's the biggest thing that's
Yeah.
gone
Not anymore.
awry in this country.
I would
Is the gov-
agree.
The government's got too much power.
Well, and that's what comes down to that whole Roe versus Wade that they were arguing about. The federal government should have zero to do with that.
Well, Trump is right. They put it back on the
They
states.
put
and
it
that's
back
where
on the
belongs.
states. It's a state issue. It has nothing to do with the federal government. There's
Right, so,
way
but if you could change one thing in the federal government, what would you change?
The president.
term limits.
Yeah, term limit. I agree.
Term
100%.
limits. Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Because everybody sits in there and they were like, I don't need to do anything. I got in here. It's fine. I'm going to stay here till I'm fucking 90 million years old.
Yeah, look at
Fucking
Pelosi. She's falling
What
apart.
do you think? What do you think term limits are going to accomplish?
Nothing. It'll kick somebody out and then you can't stay there. You don't get to come back.
You get new blood in
your
there.
2 years.
But
don't
all right,
We
and
eliminate the Bidens and the Pelosi's.
I get that, but what's the bigger threat?
The Bidens and the Pelosi's.
No, what's the bigger
Hold
threat?
on. I want to hear where John's
I don't know
going
what
with
you mean.
this. I want to
Yeah,
hear
he's
What's
hinting at something.
I don't know what you're telling me.
So what are the different levels of government? What are the different shit? I'm having a hard time thinking of the name.
You know, like the judicial, the executive, and the
And then what's the fourth?
legislative.
Yeah, and what's the fourth?
There's
president.
There's three branches of government.
No,
yeah,
there's
what's
three.
the fourth branch of government?
The president.
No, that's the executive.
What's the fourth branch of government? Dan, what's the fourth branch of government?
There's three branches.
We are.
When was there a fourth?
There's something that was overlooked by. They never thought that it would get to this point because they never thought government would get this big.
The military?
No, there's a fourth branch of government.
The
I
cabinet?
don't have to sit there like,
No, Dan, you're wrong. Dan put the people, and it's not
That's
the
what
people.
I said the people.
No, the bureaucracy.
Oh.
Term limits does not take care of the bureaucracy. And the bureaucrats are the one that is ruining everything right now.
Well, but
that is
bureaucrats are the ones that are abusing the term limits because they're sitting in office forever. They're the Bidens, the Pelosi's, the.
See, I look at it from the standpoint of I think the bureaucrats. Well, that's hard to say when you're drinking.
Right.
The bureaucrats are the ones that are causing the vast majority of the issues. This is the reason why they have to create laws all the time. So they sit there and they don't think that they are doing anything. And this goes for the House as a prime example, to a lesser extent the Senate, but mostly the House. The representatives sit there and they think that they have to make a law to be able to be relevant. And if they don't make a law a couple times every 2 years, they have nothing to go and campaign on, because what good is it for you to go and say, and I don't know if your rep is like Paul Gosar or something like that. So, but a rep, to come home every couple of years and go, yep, kept the status quo, and just we kept everything going the way it should, and vote for me again.
But let's face it, the legislative branch, that's their job, is to make laws. I mean, we'll go back to that little cartoon with What's a Bill, and remember that, that little guy.
Remember that movie?
Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock, absolutely. So that
and he goes here and
right, because I want to say from that, we'll go back to that particular video. That goes back to that's what they're supposed to do. That's what they told us that they're supposed to do.
Absolutely. But the downside is the fact, and you should leave that up, because I think that when you have Dan on next week, you should have him, go back and answer this.
For Lindsay and the Davidsons?
Just like, from when you have Lindsay and the Davidsons, you should do just like the debate and have Dan go back and answer the last question.
But aren't 95% of politicians bureaucrats?
Either side.
No, I'm talking the unelected bureaucrats, the ones that are sitting there in the Department of Revenue, and the ones that are sitting there in the Department of Homeland Security, and the ones that are sitting there, they were never elected. They were appointed,
got the
or
job,
got hired, and then all of a sudden their whole being, and in some respects, and I hate to attack religion, but in some respects it is similar to religion in the fact that they get consumed with their own well-being. Mm-hmm. And so, it's a human trait, right? And it's a downside to the human psyche, is the fact that you want to preserve yourself and you want to make sure that you have that job all the time, and you have that way of being able to,
it's gotten away from being a public servant job, that it's for the
I say
the
you're going on next
good.
week, Dan. I say it. I'm announcing it right now.
But we've gotten away from that. It's for the greater good. It's what I'm getting from you is that it's all about me.
Well, it's always been about you.
But again, it goes back to what I said before.
Right?
Government for the people, by the people. We have turned to a society where we depend on the government to tell us what to do.
Oh, the government.
But that shouldn't be. That's not the way. And your dad is right about that aspect of it. It was originally written that it was supposed to be innumerable, and that's hard to say. I know, right? Rights granted to the government by the people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way it was supposed to be. And we have gotten to, and we have a whole generation now that thinks that the government they have been conditioned to think the government should take care of them. And these are
here to give me
that's the future of the country.
Me and I can't ever be homeless or sad or anything because they're here to take care of me.
Right.
I think we've gone from running the government to the government running us.
Right.
Absolutely.
And
But there are certain people that want that. I mean, I worked with, when I worked back in Chicago, my last job, literally when we were looking at healthcare options, and they're like, we just want to be told what we need to pick. And it's like, you're missing the whole point. You have options. You have choices. Right. Do not give up your right to those choices, because once you do, it's over.
Well, and it's such we've all seen the meme. We've all seen the pictures of the dog that gives up a chain link at a time.
You're right.
Literally, that's what we're doing. Oh, hey, I really don't want to deal with this. Can you guys just handle that so I don't have to? Oh, hey, can you just deal with like the homeless issue? Because I don't really want to deal with that. Can you just do that? That'd be great. Oh, yeah, I'll give you an extra $1. No problem.
Yeah,
and who
literally, that's what we've done.
I say, well,
hey,
and see, I having
the homeless issue, if you just give us a little extra money. Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome. We'll totally do that.
And so you're absolutely right. And therein lies the, so they were showing this on, not only did I see it on Bongino, but I had heard it in 2 other places. So 3 years ago, the president and Congress gave $80-something billion to create a national network of vehicle chargers across the country.
A what?
National network of vehicle chargers.
You mean the EV?
To plug in your electric vehicle.
Okay.
3 years ago, 80-something billion with a B.
So that's why we have all the Tesla.
So do you know how many they've built out of this $84 billion? You would think that, no, they've built some, but you would think that it would be like, a couple 100,000, right?
Right.
5. Oh, 7.
Get out.
Well, and this is my thing is
because it's tied up in federal government bureaucracy, and
because I want a little bit of that.
They need economic studies, and they need environmental studies, and they need are we gonna all this bullshit.
It's interesting that you bring that up. So I just read an article today that North Carolina spent, I don't know how many millions of dollars of federal money on a shelter for illegal immigrants. And I think it was specifically for the children that were separated from the parents, that they spent all this millions of money. I don't even know how much that they spent it. They built this thing, but it sits empty. It sits empty.
Look at all the money that we paid for our border wall. Okay. Those contractors got paid.
Absolutely.
Stop building it. They didn't get that money back. They got paid for that.
Yep.
Guess what?
Not only that, Biden said tonight that the veterans are better off now than they've ever been.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I'd like to ask some veterans if that is the case. What? Well, you don't participate in you don't get the benefit.
Use any of the stuff.
I don't count.
I'm not saying you don't count. I'm just saying you don't get public assistance through the VA. I'd love to ask a bunch of veterans that use the VA system.
So
come on, who we kidding?
So
it's not better.
It's funny though. Now. So I was just talking to somebody today at an event that I went to, and she's a veteran. She has gone through traumatic conditioning and all this other stuff and PTSD, and now she is better to where she can help other veterans. And her biggest thing she said in front of everybody is that the VA and the government healthcare is a joke. That's why this whole office was funded, to be able to find those doctors that will work with them privately, to be able to find those things.
That's where
nobody has it.
That's where I specifically was talking to the screen saying that you're a fucking liar.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Because Arizona was for the longest time the poster child of everything that was wrong with the VA.
Yep,
Right?
and it still
And
is. None of it has changed.
John McCain sat there and said, "I'm going to do everything in my power to fix it." And he didn't do jack to fix it.
Nope.
And so the VA was still the poster child. So
Yeah.
all I know is that Trump did come down and he said, "We're not going to fix the VA."
Nope.
Because the VA is stuck in a mire of
Bureaucracy.
So,
That word.
Ding, ding, ding.
but Trump gave veterans, said, if you don't get access to healthcare within X amount of weeks, here's a card.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Go
go charge the government. Go charge the government.
Yep.
And that is the same thing that I had been saying for better part of a decade. They should just dissolve the VA altogether. And they should just give every veteran that wants those benefits, here's a card.
Yeah, absolutely. Because why would you stop being able to go, like my neurologist? I love my neurologist. If my insurance doesn't cover my neurologist, guess what? I'm paying for it on my own because that is an amazing doctor. Why would you not let the veterans pick their own doctor?
Right.
They were willing to die for our country. Let them pick their fucking specialist.
Well, you tell me where you
And
think
they should. They
should.
should.
You tell me where you think that a card and going to your own doctor is more expensive than building separate hospitals with administrators and maintenance people and security and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you tell me, and parking lots. And I mean, and how is this?
And all the upkeep
better?
on that.
So, I mean, that's the thing that I just can't understand. I mean, that is the VA has always been the epitome of where the government should not be involved. This is why the government should not be involved in healthcare. This is why the government should not be involved in school systems. And this is why the government should not be involved with, things like electric vehicles.
Because they just fuck it up.
They fuck it up. They have
Like you get, you're a veteran like you do. I know you pay for insurance through work, but like you should get a card and say, here, you go where you want to go.
Right.
Bill it on here, send us the receipts, whatever stipulations you want to show to make that it's legit. Why are we building a whole nother facility for that? Why are we sitting here, like you said? Why are we paying electricity for this? Why are we paying for a building for this? Let it be a hospital and you choose where you want to go.
Absolutely.
Can I tell you my very happy veteran story this week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Finally.
So
In Philadelphia, right?
in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
So no, actually it wasn't Philly. It was in Fort Washington. No, it was Fort Washington. So I went to breakfast, this cute little quaint little breakfast place. And I've been wanting to do this for a long time. And it's kind of like day late and a dollar short, every time I want to do this. So I always wanted to buy a meal for a veteran. Like if I'm at a restaurant, I see a veteran sit down and they're eating dinner, I always want to pay for their meal. But every time I go to pay for it, it's always like,
too late.
well, they've already paid. So this week I got my wish. So I was sitting at this little cafe, really cute little place, sitting outside, and I watched these 4 veterans walk up. And they were probably in their mid 70s, maybe even 80s. They were a little bit elderly, but I said, this is my chance. And I
got them early.
I told the waitress, I said, I'd like to pay for their meal. And she kind of looked at me puzzled, like, are you sure? I said, yes, I want to do
No
this.
matter what they get. I know they're walking in the door, but
Right.
don't let them pay.
So I did. I paid for their meal. And it just, I don't know, it just made me feel very happy to be able to do that. And I
Very
think,
cool.
I don't think we give our veterans enough credit.
And it was
for what they've done.
$50
Whether you've
for 4
seen,
people?
yeah, whether you've seen action or not,
nothing.
I don't care. You served our country.
Right.
And I think if more
Absolutely.
people did that, more people had that attitude, we'd be a better place.
That little.
It just made me feel so good. I've been wanting to do it for the longest time, and I had the opportunity to do it, and I did it, and I felt really good about it. So I want to share that.
Well, and it's that
It was
simple as you see a police officer behind you. Oh, hey, I'm going to get his coffee. Oh, hey, I'm going to get whatever. It's that simple. Like, and that is huge. That's going to change our whole day. That's going to change their whole week. That's a story they're going to tell as well. Like, that's huge.
Yep.
And one of the things I love to do is do things anonymously and nobody knows.
Mm-hmm. I think they didn't.
Well,
they
and
didn't
well,
know,
well,
did
here's
they?
the thing. I wanted to go up and talk to the gentleman, but I had a. It's funny because it was a situation where I had to. If I didn't do it at the moment I did it, I wouldn't have done it because I was almost late for a meeting because I had a site walk I had to do. So I had to run, and the waitress was taking forever. Like she wouldn't come over to me. I'm like, give me their bill. I want to pay for their bill. And I wanted to go talk to the gentleman. I wanted to thank him for their service. I always thank, every time I see whether it's a firefighter, a police officer, or military, I always thank them for their service. Always. And I really want to go over and say hi to them and say, look, I'm happy. I appreciate everything you've done for our country. I'd like to buy your meal. I didn't have the opportunity to do that. So it kind of bummed me out because I had to take off because I was late. But again, like Wendy said, it's kind of anonymous, right? Yeah. So they know somebody took care of this for them.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool.
It was still good. It was still a great feeling.
Yeah.
Really was.
That's very cool story. I like that.
Very good.
Yep.
You need to put your dad's last comment up there.
Yeah.
I did. I threw it up there. Thank you, Dad.
We've tried like 4 times and we're always too late. I'm like, dang it, man. They're like, oh, they just paid or I'm bringing them the receipt. And I was like,
we were at a Thai food place. I think it was over in Mesa, wasn't it? And we saw them sitting there because we had walked in after they had sat down.
And they were just like finished getting ready to leave. So we didn't, by the time I was like, oh, can we pay for their meal? And she was like, they already paid. Like they're just sitting around talking. I was like, gosh darn it.
So Christine, you're absolutely right. And so you hear the stories, right? The feel-good stories about somebody goes to a drive-through, any one of the big food chains, right? And they grab the person and then the string will go on for 30, 40, 50 patrons. And do you really want to be that ass that sits there and goes,
stops it?
Nope, I'm taking my free meal and I'm out of here.
Well, are those people though?
But again, it comes to that point, and are you really that dick? So let's say it's just me. Okay. I don't have any kids. I'm going through McDonald's to get a coffee. They have coffees, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, somebody already paid for your coffee. Do you want to pay for the car behind you? Sure, why not? And then I get an $80
minivan with 6 kids
with 9 fucking kids in her car. Like,
I'll pay for 3.
I really just wanted a $3 coffee. Like,
right.
No, and I get that. There are some people that they're not in the position to be able to afford that.
Exactly.
Totally get that.
Like, I really want to be nice, and I really would really like to because the guy in front of me paid for mine, but like I don't have $60 to drop on the. Like, what do? You can't.
9 fucking kids. I think that's how you said it, right?
I don't have 9 kids. You should have been smarter with that.
I mean,
decision.
I took a chance. I mean, we'll you and I, we'll spend $80 going out, just you and I. So
I know. That's
now
what I'm saying. What if somebody
4 gentlemen that I'm paying for their meal? I took a chance that it could have been high, but
you knew going into that,
right?
If they do something like that in that line, you're like, I went to McDonald's and I spent $5. Like, I didn't expect to spend 90. Like,
I look at it as I'm very fortunate. I have a good job. I make a good living. And I buy the things that I want to buy, but why not do something for somebody
lightsabers,
else, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. I mean, you make that decision. I mean, and if everybody did that decision,
that's different. The lady at McDonald's with 9 kids behind there because Fatty wanted to. I'm just saying, you didn't serve our country. You wanted 4 cheeseburgers.
Please tell me you're not driving away with a finger up, are you?
If they ask me that and they're like, I'll give her $5 towards my coffee. That's all she's getting. She can eat her 8 cheeseburgers. Like, it's not the same. It's a totally different level. Because I will spend $300 on some veterans to have a good old time as opposed to paying for the fatty behind me at McDonald's who wants 20 chips.
Oh my God.
So Christine said, my youngest daughter, she would go through the drive-thru and say she wants to pay for the order behind her. One day it cost her $50, but she said it makes her have a great day. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
she's nicer than I am.
It's great to be able to do something like that.
Again, by all means, how many times have I bought people food or whatever? That's fine.
Right.
But I'm not just like,
the bottom line is it's just about paying it forward. Whether it's a veteran, whether it's a stranger, that's all it's about.
Wendy's nicer than I am.
We know.
I'm sorry.
All right, it's getting late over here on the East Coast.
All right, yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
So we really got nowhere on the debate, but
Lindsay and the Davidsons.
are we in any better place than what we were before the debate?
I mean,
We'll
we may or may not.
We'll find out in 5 months.
And exactly.
Are we in a better place before the debate? No, I don't think so.
The debate is not for us, though.
Right.
No, true.
That is
The
true.
debate was not
The
for us.
debate
The debate is for the.
No.
It's to help us decide that idiot or that idiot.
It's not even that. We already know that if we go one direction, things are going to get worse.
Yep.
Whether you don't like Trump or not, the alternative is.
Not good.
I still think that Biden is literally trying to get us to the one world government aspect of it. And here's the thing, so why are the borders open? Why are, that's been one of the big questions. Why are the borders
Voters for him?
But they can't vote.
Yes, they can.
No, they can't.
You don't
Not
need
in
it.
federal elections.
They don't need any ID.
Doesn't matter. They can't vote in federal elections.
They don't need
But
any ID.
what's the next domino to fall? The next domino is going to be mass amnesty.
Oh,
Yes.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
100%.
That'll
And
come.
then all of a sudden, oh wait, we not only got to come across and get just lost in the country, we've been made citizens for absolutely nothing. Oh yeah, I'm voting for the old guy. I don't care who he is.
I'm going to say next month because that gives you July. So it gives you all of August, all September, all October to technically get registered, get your ID, get your shit together so that you can vote in November.
And make sure you're in Arizona, you bring your Sharpie.
Hey, but yeah, exactly. Hey, but Biden said tonight there's no terrorists in our country.
Oh, there's none.
Right?
That have come
And I'm yelling at the screen going, talk to your FBI director.
Yeah, exactly.
He testified on Capitol Hill that there are terrorists.
We're
coming
not,
in
on
the
the we're not on the verge of another 9/11. Don't worry, buddy. Just
Totally
be
fine.
complacent and just go about your business. Don't worry
That's
about
a lie.
it.
Oh my God. So, all right. That being said, all right, Lindsay and the Davidsons. Do you want to tell us about your new show?
No, it's a shit show, just like the rest of my life.
It's a shit show. It's not Lindsay and
That
David,
should have been the name.
Drunk with facts.
but it is Drunk with Facts podcast. With
Oh, no, it should have been Shit Show with Lindsay.
His name is-
PH. I'm gonna make me a little guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Make me a little guy
Well,
with a PH on his shirt, like facts.
John and Wendy, we love you guys. We're so happy.
We love you guys too.
Peace.
We thought it was only fitting since you started the show with us to someone end the show with us.
Oh my God.
So
Yeah.
We definitely miss you. I mean, it was more, at least for me, about getting together with you guys and
Every week.
every week and having a drink and just shooting the shit and having fun.
Yep,
You know?
100%.
I mean, so like, if you guys want to show up next week by surprise,
Only if Dan is on.
Hey, we could arrange if you're going to come out here, John. We could arrange.
If Dan is going to be on, I can stay up late one more time.
No, not stay up late. You got to be here. It's not gonna be Lindsay.
No, I'm not coming. No, hell no. I probably just got done promising her I'm not traveling anymore. For a while.
It's not technically traveling. She's coming too.
Right. All right, guys. Well, cheers, guys.
And then you can see your old dog.
It's been fun.
We love you guys.
Cheers.
I know.
Have a happy 4th.
It's been fun. Cheers. Happy 4th.
Love you guys.
All right, love you guys. Hey,
Love
next
you.
week is our last
Christine, Dan,
episode.
love you guys.
Love y'all.
July 3rd, guys. Last episode. We're not on Thursday. We're on Wednesday, July 3rd. Don't forget.
Okay.
All right. See you guys. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
See ya. Hit the music.
See ya.